On Wednesday, Her late Majesty's coffin was transported from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall, where it was accompanied by King Charles and other members of the royal family. GB News host Dan Wootton spoke about the day's events, alongside the debate about Prince Harry and Prince Andrew not wearing military uniforms. Dan Wootton began the segment by asking Mr Emanuel if he knew the Queen, to which the fashion designer replied he had met Her Majesty on several occasions. He said, "It was always a privilege, and it was always very exciting, and she had this innate glamour about her." Mr Emanuel also described the Queen as very caring, very kind, very discreet. He reminisced about how times have changed, and that it used to be not appropriate to share private conversations with the Queen, but said now people quite openly talk about their interactions with Her late Majesty. He added, "It's nice because you get to know the real woman." Dan Wootton discussed Queen Elizabeth's ceremonial procession with guest David Emanuel. Image, GB News/Getty Images. Mr Emanuel described Queen Elizabeth as very caring, very kind, very discreet. Image, Getty Images. Mr Wootton then asked Mr Emanuel about the procession, and said, "What was it like given that you did know her, David, watching that procession today, with her coffin leaving Buckingham Palace for the final time?" Mr Emanuel replied, "It was immaculately presented. Everything, it started with the troops and there was the build-up, the procession was extraordinary. Once you saw the horses, everybody was buzzing about it, and then suddenly you saw the coffin and you thought, oh Lord." Mr Emanuel went on to describe members of the royal family who attended the ceremony. He noted how grief-stricken the King looked, described Princess Anne as very composed and said the new Prince of Wales, Prince William, looked wonderful in his uniform. Read more. Clash over Prince Harry wearing military uniform. Her Majesty's coffin was transported from Buckingham Palace on Wednesday. Image, Getty Images. Mr Emanuel described the procession as, Image, GB News. Host Mr Wootton and Mr Emanuel then landed on the debate surrounding Prince Harry, who will not be wearing his military uniform at the ceremony. Buckingham Palace has said only working members of the royal family would wear military uniforms for ceremonial events taking place during the mourning period for the Queen. Both Prince Harry and Prince Andrew have stepped away from royal duties and were seen wearing civilian clothes at the ceremony despite both being retired members of the military. Mr Emanuel said, "Of course, you get this instant clash, as you go, oh you've got the other two chaps in day suits. Which is odd, because of course they should have been in ceremonial outfits. Don't miss royal family unites in solemn display for Queen as thousands queue, reveal Charles hopes Queen's funeral causes minimum disruption." Inside heartbreaking image shows Harry close to tears at Westminster Hall. Report, Prince Harry was not permitted to wear his military uniform. Image, Getty Images. Trending. Mr Wootton asked, "Was that the right decision? Because it's become a real debate. Do you think it's appropriate for Andrew and Harry to be in their mourning suits?" Mr Emanuel answered, "Well, they've been stripped of their titles, and they've been stripped of all their decoration." He added, "They're out-of-work royals, so to put them in uniform seems a bit fake to me. I mean there's absolutely nothing wrong with a day suit, but it looked wrong, in that procession, it looked odd." On Tuesday, a spokesman for Prince Harry said the Duke would be wearing a mourning suit throughout the events. They said, "His decade of military service is not determined by the uniform he wears and we respectfully ask that focus remains on the life and legacy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II." Queen Elizabeth's funeral will be held next Monday, September 19th, but will spend Thursday to Sunday at Westminster Hall where the public can pay their respects.